Okay, hi there. So today I'm going to talk about something very different, which is Hugo. It has nothing to do with Svelte, but I started using it for a website and I ran into a few problems. So I'm just going to make this quick start video guide just so you don't run into the same problems. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the very basics. First thing is you're going to have to install Hugo. And if you have Brew and you're on a Mac, you can do Brew install Hugo. Otherwise, you'll have to come here, install Hugo, and kind of look at what you're going to do for your system. So hopefully you can figure that out. If not, you can leave me a question in the comments. Okay, so here in your terminal, I'm going to go to document/practice. And you're just going to want to make sure you have Hugo and it's working. So, I don't know. Well, usually Hugo does something. You could do a Hugo version to make sure you have, to make sure it's working. Okay, so to create a website, you're going to Hugo new site, and I'm going to call it practice, or I'll call it Hugo practice, like that. Okay, so you'll see it really quickly made it, and I'm going to change directory into my Hugo practice. So change directory into there, and then here it says get init. So next part of it is finding a theme. So they've got lots of themes here. I was going to use, let me see if I can find it. Portfolio one. I can't find it. Okay, let's say I'll pick a different one then. There it is. So I was going to use this one. It's got lots of themes. What you're going to do is click on the theme you want. So you can come to themes.gohugo.io or just Google Hugo themes. And then you're going to want to download it. Or you're going to click the download button at least. And this will give you some installation stuff. So here, first I'm going to open my Hugo project in Visual Studio Code so we can have a look at it. But it has a themes folder, which is what you're going to want to change directory into, right here, themes. Right now I have no themes. Right now there's nothing in static. There's pretty much nothing in any of this except archetypes. That's probably why I was able to make it so quickly. And then what you're going to do is git clone. So it says git clone. That caused a problem for me because I wanted my Git project to be the Hugo practice, but then there was a Git project inside of a Git project. So instead, I used degit, just like with Svelte. If you've watched those videos, you can NPM install globally. If you don't have degit, NPM install degit -g. And what that does is it copies this repository into your folder, and it isn't an actual GitHub repository. Anyway, it does basically the same thing, but it is better. Okay, so degit, and then you're gonna have to copy and paste this in here, whatever your theme is. Paste, and then you're going to put the name of what you want it to what you want to call it. So I'm gonna call it portfolio. Is going to be the name of the theme. Okay, so it cloned it into there. So you'll see here now I have portfolio. Okay, so that's the first step, is you want to pick your theme. So that's basically what Hugo is you got a theme and then you put your own content into it. Okay, so now I've got my theme, and where I ran into trouble, I was like, okay, so how do I look at it now? So if you come back into the root of your Hugo practice directory or whatever you called it, and you do Hugo server. So now you got a server, and it'll be at localhost 1313. So I was like, okay, I downloaded my theme, and now I can see it. Oh, but nothing is showing up. So I was like, what's going on? No errors. There's something there, but there's not much there. So what you got to do is, it's going to give you a example site, which has content, data, static, gitignore, config.toml. And that is basically what your site is. Here it's got a config, data, layouts, content, but there's nothing in them. So if you want to populate your website with all of this stuff here, then you're going to have to use their example site. So there should be an example site. So you can do this, shift, click at the bottom top inside the example site, and then drag this down onto, here I'm doing it onto config.toml, so it puts it in the root directory. And then it's trying to it'll overwrite the other ones, which is fine. Okay, so now I've got data. Now I've got well, I don't have content, but I've got this thing here. I'm not sure what it does, but you do need that. Okay, so now if I come back, I might need to stop it and run it. Oh, I'm getting unable to find theme directory. Oh, okay, so I renamed the theme to portfolio. It was expecting it to be called Hugo-freelancer-theme, so you're just going to have to come here to theme and do whatever you called it. Like when I ran the degit command, I put it into a new directory. Okay, so here we go, refresh, and there you go. That is, now you got your website here, and so you're probably going to want to change some of your stuff, and you'll just have to kind of play around with this and figure out where stuff is. For example, here it says Mr. Hugo's portfolio. You're going to want to come in here to config.toml, and I haven't used toml before, and it seems I don't really know why that is what's being used. If you want, you can do like a toml to YAML converter or something, or a JSON if you're more comfortable with that. That's what I am. That's what I did. And you can paste in the toml here and parse. I prefer YAML. Into the stream of document separators. Okay, so maybe I won't do this, but that's an option you have because there's some error. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a small little thing I could change, but I won't deal with that for now, so I'll just use this toml file. So let's say I see here Mr. Hugo's portfolio. So here in the config, I can search for Mr. Hugo, and oh, hey, here's Mr. Hugo's portfolio. So maybe I want to put Svelte Master instead. And I save that, and now it says Svelte Master there. Okay, so you can do that with, you'll just have to look around these portfolio things, these guys here, what that is. And I'm still not quite clear on what goes in config, what goes in data, and what goes in content. But you're just going to have to figure it out on your own. So here's project cabin. It's project cake. Yeah, cabin right here. So this thing here is this project. And you can change the data in here. So project cabin. Maybe I want to call it project woods or something. And then I'll say, I lived in the woods. That was my project. So I save that. And you'll see now it's called Project Woods. I lived in the woods. Great. Okay, so, and then you can change out the images. I'm not sure where that's located. You'd have to find that and fix it and change it up. Another thing you can do is if you want to change the colors, you can come to... see, I'm not even clear on where everything is exactly. Static, CSS, freelancer.css. This is just, so it's built on Bootstrap, and it uses Font Awesome. But this is the custom CSS here. So let's say I wanted to change this color. So what I would do, if I were you, is find this color, and then you can do Command D to get all of them. Okay, and then change that all to be, well, no, wait. First, you're going to want to copy it, and then put it in here as a variable, -- primary, primary color is that. And then I'm going to come here. Actually, I don't want to put that there yet. So it's a bit tricky. Maybe there's a better way to do this, if you know. So come here, d, and we're going to do var primary color. And now you can label that as this. And then for secondary color, you could do the same thing. I won't do that, so if I save, it's going to be the same. But let's say I wanted to do something else. So you can do like color palette generator to find different colors, or a color palette that you want to change it to. Okay, well, let me just show you. Let's say I wanted to have something else like pink. Okay, so now the primary color is going to be pink here, like that. Okay, and so if you want to, you could do the same thing for the secondary color, which is this guy, I think. You'd have to do, I'm not going to show you, but you do the same thing. Okay, so that's how you would change the colors. Now I'm going to get into how you would host it on Netlify. And hopefully I don't run into any errors here, but I might. Okay, so I'm going to log in with my email. And what was my super secret password? There we go. Okay, so you're going to have to do a new site from Git. And actually, I'm not going to get into this. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to show you how to do it on Netlify because I'm going to have to set that all up. But in any case, that's how you get your Hugo project set up. I'll do another video for when I post it to Netlify. And that will be all for now.